ending the daylight of day 2 on the trip from Ocracoke. It's not how it planned to go, admittedly. Probably have salt in my microphone. Yeah, whatever. The plan was Ocracoke to Wilmington, which was about 120 something miles. Plenty, easy. But the thing is I made significantly better time than I thought I would do, which is not a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination. But it meant that to get to Wilmington, I had a long upwind to get there, and then I would have to wait. I estimated around 4 hours before the tide would change, and I could actually make it into the harbor inlet river that's there around the backside of Cape Fear. So I decided, instead of spending 6 hours and making no progress, just waiting around and tacking upwind, I would bear off and head for Georgetown, which is kind of the next big town along the way. I still had the wind in my aft quarter or on the beam, and I was making fantastic time. Still averaging 5.5 knots or so all throughout the night. But I managed to get on the phone with my dad earlier today, and he gave me a weather report. It said winds shifting around northwest-ish, and lightening up. They did shift around northwest, but more so than they predicted, and they didn't lighten up. I initially thought the northwest shift would be nice, but it turns out that I've just been having to beat for quite a while now to make any headway towards Georgetown here. Whatever, I'll fix that after. So, yeah, it's I made about half the progress today that I initially thought I would. I've been averaging 3.5 to 4 knots all throughout the day, which isn't bad, but it just means that I've still got 45 miles to the entrance of the harbor, and then 47 or whatever to the anchorage, which is about another 12 hours of sailing, which puts me getting there at 5:30 tomorrow morning, so just about sunrise. And that last bit, I obviously won't be able to sleep for because I'm going to need to motor up into the inlet. But whatever. I'll take tomorrow as kind of a rest day. Drop anchor, take a nap, and we'll see. Reading some of the reviews at Georgetown. It sounds like an interesting, neat little town. I've got 3 days to kill before I really need to boogie my way to Charleston to meet my mom and my grandmother. Yeah. In other news, I'm not alone out here. There's another sailboat way off in the distance. You won't be able to see him, but he's making better time than I am. He's probably going from Wilmington to Georgetown. So he's got a bit of a better angle. He's got 10 extra miles to windward from the shoals I had to round at Cape Fear. So yeah, it's going to be another long night. There's nothing out here I need to hit, and from what I can tell, the wind forecast is steady for the next 10 hours. So hopefully I'll be able to put in some longer rests and actually be able to get some sleep tonight. Because you can do it for one night, but you can't really do it for 2 in a row. Especially because I know tomorrow morning from 2 to 5 a.m. I'm gonna have to be up navigating and motoring into the inlet. So you do what you gotta do, right? I'm still figuring out my limits and the limits of the boat, and kind of tempering my arrogance a little bit. know, my confidence, and you know, if the weather's good now, the weather's going to stay good, because obviously it won't. I probably should have headed up to Wilmington, because with the wind shift I would have been able to shoot right up the side, and I, you know, could have figured out some way to kill the time before the you know, flood to get in there. So yeah, just getting ready for the sun to set here. It's pretty out here. The water's very blue and very clear. I saw some fish swimming under the boat earlier, but other than that, not much to see, not much to do. I'm 23 miles or so offshore, so definitely no cell service. I've been reading books and cleaning for the most part today, although it doesn't look like it. Yeah, it shouldn't be an unpleasant night, I don't think. Just get cozy down in the berth. See if I can maybe get some hours off for sleep. I've gotten to the point where I'm saying, so time for me to go and finish up this long ass day.